Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose, and this is my review for X, the newest horror film from Studio A24. Before I get to that, a little sub-promotion, if you will. Right here on this channel, Latin Nerds Network, every Sunday around midday, we drop one of our shows, The Watch List. I figure if you're into films, good storytelling, you're probably into a lot of TVs and shows and movies that get dropped on streaming. So on The Watch List, me, my co-host Chewy, we review every show that gets released on across all platforms of streaming, Apple Plus, HBO, Netflix, etc. We also set you up every week and let you know what's coming out from week to week so you can create your very own watch list. So check us out here. If you're not sure what to watch, want recommendations, we break every show down that gets released, documentary, series, dramas, across all ranges here, across all platforms. Check us out every Sunday on Latin Nerds Network, midday. All right, cheap promotion over. Let's get to the review here. Of course, X, as I mentioned, is an A24 studio film. A24, listen, they're very unconventional. They're very art house, so it's not for everybody. Some of the movies can be interesting, to say at least. Even in the horror genre, you get something like Hereditary, which I liked, or Midsommar, which I didn't find to my liking all that much. But that being said, they do allow the directors to put the vision on film, and I can appreciate that. Like when studios allow these filmmakers to do what they want to do. Again, unconventional or not, it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But that being said here, I was really looking forward to seeing this one. I hadn't really seen any trailers, but, and I'll say this, listen, you're taking good old-fashioned, wholesome American porn and mixing it with horror. If that's not a marriage made in heaven, I don't know what is. Take my money, please. But all jokes aside here, this is a horror movie which I really enjoyed. I was really surprised here. A basic premise: we have this young individuals who are trying to make a porn film. They're in Texas, drive from Houston, and they had previously rented a house from an old couple who owns it. It's kind of this farm property, and it's a house that they have on the premises. So they stay there to make this porn film. It's about a porn about a farmer's daughter. I mean, why not, right? It's just USA, goddammit. But that being said, things kind of go awry, and it turns into a slasher film where in an unconventional way, where they all start getting picked off one by one. I guess they don't appreciate, the art making of a good porn. Hey, it's not for everybody. I get it. I gotta say, again, unconventional format. This is a different spin on the slasher film. I don't want to really, I'm not sure what the trailers revealed or didn't reveal. I didn't catch the trailers beforehand, but it's an enjoyable horror film. The idea of who the slasher is different and unique. A lot of creepy shit going on. This old couple who owns the property, man, they are creepy as shit. And it's not every day you see a film starring a 90-year-old sexually frustrated woman here who kind of drives herself bonkers as a result. And I'll leave it at that. The cast is unknown. There's just Jenny Ortega. I'll mention her because this is the Latin Nerds Network, so we got to stand behind our Latina brethren here, if you will. Jenny Ortega, of course, we saw her in Scream. She was in the second season of You on Netflix. I think she's a Mexican and Puerto Rican mix, if memory serves. That being said, quick shout out to her. Good for her. She's getting a lot of work, and she is actually very good. But all that being said, listen, this is one that it takes time to build, right? It's a slow burn in the beginning. It's about, I want to say 45 minutes of just them doing the porn thing and setting that up, and then before it turns into your kind of typical slasher, so to speak. But it's worth the wait. This movie, it's a build-up, right, to the climax. Get it? See what I did there? Pun intended. But I digress. When it breaks into that, the slasher form, it doesn't. The movie really picks up, and that's what you want to see, right? And I liked what they did here. There's some good kills, some good scares for the most part. And it was interesting. This movie takes place in 1979. I like the director's choice of the aesthetic that he gives this movie, right? This movie feels and is shot like a throwback to 70s horror films, like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for example. So it has a vibe, that gritty look to it. I think filmed it old school style with the music and all that. So all that really worked. But ultimately, this is a horror film. This is what we came to see, right? Is it worth it? And I think it is. I had a lot of fun with this one. There's some good laughs, unintentional and intentional, but it just adds to the fun of the film. There's one scene, it's the most horrifying scene I've ever seen. Not ever seen, I'm exaggerating. I've seen it in a while. And it's about the most disturbing sex scene I've probably seen on screen. That much uncomfortable saying, but it does add to what the movie's trying to do. I don't want to say too much more than that, not to keep this kind of spoiler free, but it's an interesting watch. This it doesn't rely on a lot of jump scares, but it's got the good horror film, and a slasher film should be fun, right? They're not going to draw much scares because we've seen this kind of thing 1,000 times. We know it, right? The idea behind the individual doing the killings, that's different and interesting to say at least. It's again unconventional. I applaud them for that. Some people may enjoy it, some people won't. It's not for everybody, I don't think. But that being said, as a horror fan, if you're a horror fan, I think this one you should definitely check out. It's fun, it's entertaining. You get past the first 45 minutes, which is still kind of cool because they're doing this porn, and it's so old school for those who, those of you the degenerates like myself, who every once in a while put a little porn on. It is what it is, right? But that being said, it's funny, making the film. You laugh at some of the things that they're doing, because some of the same tropes and things that we make fun of from porn films. But that notwithstanding, the film's really about the horror, right? The horror aspect of it, and that works. That really comes together well. It's a little bit bonkers, nutty, and conventional, and I enjoyed that. It's a different. This is a different kind of horror film, which gives us something different. And we've seen this again, the slasher genre so much. It's nice to do something with it more than just what you see typically these days. So for that reason, I think it's worth. I think you guys should definitely check it out. I really enjoyed this one. This is a good, fun horror film for what it is. It's not gonna blow you away, but it's good. It's interesting. If you can go to the theaters, catch it at home at some point. I think most of you guys are probably gonna think it's nutty, but it works, and that's the best thing I can say about the film. So that being said, actually, you guys are gonna watch it. Comment below, let me know if you do, let me know what you thought. And of course, as always, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed my need to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.